In the heart of the Alaskan wilderness, Ethan, a seasoned mountaineer, embarked on a solo expedition to reach the summit of a remote and treacherous peak. Armed with his climbing gear and an unyielding spirit, he was determined to conquer the mountain. As night fell, a blizzard descended upon the mountain, forcing Ethan to seek shelter. He stumbled upon a cave, its dark entrance barely visible through the swirling snow. He quickly set up camp inside, lighting a small fire to stave off the biting cold. The howls began just as he was starting to doze off. Ethan's eyes snapped open, and he listened intently. The howls were growing louder, closer. He realized with a start that he was not alone. A pack of fierce wolves had picked up his scent and were closing in on the cave. Ethan's heart pounded as he considered his options. The fire would keep them at bay for a while, but he knew it wouldn't last the night. He needed to find a way to survive until the storm passed and the wolves lost interest. He remembered his flare gun, tucked away in his backpack. Carefully, he retrieved it and loaded a flare, hoping the bright light and noise would scare the wolves away. As the first wolf appeared at the cave entrance, its eyes glinting in the firelight, Ethan fired the flare into the night sky. The brilliant burst of light and the sharp sound startled the wolves, causing them to retreat momentarily. But the respite was brief. The wolves, driven by hunger and the lure of the lone man, returned with renewed determination. Ethan knew he had to do more. Gathering his courage, he grabbed a burning branch from the fire and stood at the cave entrance, waving it fiercely. The wolves snarled and snapped, but they kept their distance from the flames. Hours passed, and the storm showed no sign of letting up. Ethan's strength was waning, but he refused to give in. As dawn approached, the wolves, sensing the coming daylight, began to retreat. Their howls grew fainter as they disappeared into the forest. Ethan collapsed in exhaustion, the adrenaline leaving his body. He had survived the night, but his journey was far from over. With the storm subsiding, he packed up his gear and continued his climb. Reaching the summit days later, Ethan stood triumphant, the vast expanse of the Alaskan wilderness stretching out before him. He knew that the mountain had tested him in ways he had never imagined, but he had emerged stronger, his spirit unbroken.